Dead internet theory. I learned about this from Pipster. My Moshi. My Oshi Moshi. Ooh!
Okay, today's a bit of a complicated video, but let me start with this.
I like complicated.
Dead internet theory, which is a two-part claim asserting that 1, the internet has been taken over by artificially generated content, with bot interactions vastly outnumbering any human component still active within it. And 2, this was done deliberately by state actors for nefarious purposes. That theory is becoming true, at least half true. Not that it's super important for today, but the origin of this theory is rather difficult to fully pinpoint.
You don't want to know what I hate? I was trying, this is my personal experience with using Google in the last like 2 to 3 years. I was trying to find a freaking reference for Akagi for me to like have a pose for a drawing that I wanted him to do for my merch. And I couldn't find a single piece that wasn't AI generated. It was infuriating. I literally couldn't find, there was like 20 AI pictures generated in my Google that I just wanted to use as reference. I type in like anime girls hugging each other, and it's just all of them are AI. And I'm like, why doesn't Google filter this shit out? It's so obvious. We need a better search engine? No, seriously, I think we should go back or something. Like, something's got to, like, give. This is ridiculous.
Earliest examples we know of is a post by a user named Illuminati Pirate on a website forum called Agora Roads Macintosh Cafe, with an outline of what the theory purports to be happening. But after the term was signal boosted by various YouTube videos or mainstream publications even, like The Atlantic, the term dead internet theory became a very well-known online conspiracy. Expanding on what that theory actually says,
conspiracy anymore, chat.
I believe to be increasingly accurate, I should say, it goes a little something like this. Google and other large search engines out there have become sort of like Potemkin villages, which is an old Russian phrase referencing a village that was constructed just to impress Catherine the Great, but had no legitimate building.
Yeah, I remember reading about this a long time ago. I've heard of this.
The Potemkin village was just an outward facade, built to give the illusion of depth with no actual content. And much the same.
In North Korea, they have these too, to impress tourists and stuff. They have fake buildings.
Same way a two-dimensional piece of wood can be painted to resemble a three-dimensional construct. Yep. Search engines are being dressed up as deeply immersive tools, while the true content that they serve is just a tiny fraction of what's claimed. On top of the fact that the content they serve is now majority synthetic. Just to add, the second half of this theory is where I personally draw the line. If you don't, that's fine, but I don't necessarily believe that government forces are nefariously pushing some sort of anti-human online internet agenda. I
just think it's a lot of things getting out of control and nobody's doing anything about it because not enough people are complaining. Me personally, that really struck a chord with me. I couldn't find a reference photo. Do you remember sitting down in school? I remember sitting down in school and using Google to look up images of like animes or like things I liked to then print out, and it was usually drawn by someone. Like, I would just print them out on a piece of paper and, like, glue them somewhere, and now I can't even do that. Can you use date filter before X year? Yeah, but I don't even want that. I want, like, things produced, like, now. Even if you look up someone else's art, sometimes people will use their art to put through an AI filter and put it in there, even though it's AI. It's not their legitimate work. It's just a piece of, fucking lobotomized trash that's kind of like glued together and thrown in there.
It's more so just a problem of human greed that's responsible for all this. But for the purpose of today's video, I want to make the argument that the first half of the dead internet theory, if not true already, is rapidly becoming true.
This is ominous.
Very few adequate countermeasures in place to stop it. Don't get me wrong, there are some countermeasures in place. I'll even have evidence of that in real time later on in this very video, but the overall trend that we see is completely skewed. So much so that entire Google search trends are now being primarily driven by self-perpetuating dead internet theory content. Let's get into it. My primary example for the day is going to revolve around Elon Musk, Tesla, and two very fictional but highly visible online products. To be clear, before anyone complains in the comment section, I dislike Elon Musk and his various businesses for a bunch of personal reasons.
Sure.
But this really doesn't have anything to do with that, because while his name, brand, and certainly his face are part of the subject matter, it's not because of any decision he's making. It's because the dead internet theory machine has identified these two products, which don't exist, as a perfect vehicle for profit. I would go so far as to say it's an entire cottage industry, actually, but ultimately I'll leave that part up to viewers. First up, example number 1 is the Tesla phone, and this is where I have to draw a timeline. Bear with me. Elon Musk.
The pie model. Yeah, you want to know who this is for? Americans, because they love pie.
Actually has mentioned the concept of a Tesla phone on more than one occasion, but only through a lens of it's probably never happening. The most prominent and recent examples that I could find personally are these. October 22nd, 2024, published by The Standard, referencing a town hall, in which he said, quote, when asked about the phone, "That's a lot of work. The idea of making a phone makes me want to die. But if we have to make a phone, we will. But we will aspire not to make a phone."
Okay, that's kind of weird. All right.
End quote. Seems pretty definitive to me, sure, but there's also an appearance on Joe Rogan, November 4th of 2024, where he explicitly states, "We're not doing a phone." With an
So where's the phone? Is the phone AI slop? No!
A description of how they potentially could do a phone from a technical perspective, but they're not. And they won't ever unless some sort of extenuating circumstances arise.
It's AI slop.
Essentially, Elon Musk has not done or said anything to give credit to the concept of a Tesla phone. And yet the concept of a Tesla phone is a proliferating online content subject. Let's put the comments in context here. This is the Google search interest graph for Tesla phone over the past 12 calendar months. Musk made his comments on October 22nd and November 4th or thereabouts. But if we look at the search interest, the number of people searching for Tesla phone on Google had already massively increased well before October 22nd and seemingly went significantly down during and around the time of his Joe Rogan appearance.
And then it spiked back up.
Making things a bit more complicated, there is a company called Tesla that manufactures phones, as well as home appliances and other small electronics. But this company has no correlation to Elon Musk and has existed for many years. It seemingly has no impact, nor could have any impact.
Yeah, it's like the Mandela effect. We're going full circle, chat. Someone's got to do something about this. You want to know what I would do if I was the government and I had all controlling, like, government power and I could do whatever the fuck I want with no consequences? I would make all the AI generated slop and all the tools have, like, a thumbprint where people can definitively have that as a tool that invisibly marks a picture or a video as AI. No matter where it's produced from, like a factory number, like on like an item, like a, like a stamp before it leaves and goes out into the internet. It's like invisible, but you can like see it with like certain tools. It's gonna fuck people. This is gonna fuck the internet up.
On Google Trends. This left me with a question. Why is it that search interest for the term Tesla phone is seemingly ballooning or contracting without any mainstream coverage of the topic whatsoever, as the founder in question explicitly denies that the company is working on or likely will ever work on that kind of product? And how does that make any sense at all? Well, it doesn't make sense until you consider the dead internet theory, the amended version at least, where a substantial and growing part of the online world is synthetic content created solely for the purpose of advertising, with a dwindling number of human participants involved.
This happens on TikTok all the time. By the way, I opened up I have a Samsung phone, right? And when you open up your Samsung phone, you can get a wallpaper and you can go to the store for a wallpaper, and all of it's AI generated too. I was looking at it the other week and I was like, I should like change my wallpaper to something like Christmassy. And I went and looked and they're charging like $2 for AI generated slop. It's so cringe. I was like trying to look at like actual pictures of like actual animals and they were all fucked up and stuff. It's so bad.
Let me explain. See, as I made this video, which has been in the works for a while, one of my primary examples I ended up using or was going to use was this channel right here. Tech Central.
This?
Yeah, Tech Central.
Oh, we saw this like months ago. I think probably over a year ago. I remember some guy talked about this, like, this slop of, like, taking Elon's face and making up stories.
Central had hundreds of videos spread out across the past, I don't know, long time. And dozens of those videos correspond in subject matter and time frame with the Google trend for Tesla phone. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you think about it, this channel got terminated by YouTube right in the middle of my video process, which was simultaneously a good thing to see and also irritating for the purpose of making content. It was a really good example, is what I mean. However, because the issue is getting so big, it's not like I had to struggle here in finding more, so let's move on to this. This is another channel called Garage Head, posting close to 1,000 videos of all sorts of different subjects. But
and they're all AI generated too. Look at their faces. It's so weird.
Just like Tech Central, which is now suspended, they had a particular focus on Tesla phones. Here's one from October 12th, 42,000 views, titled, "Just Happened, Elon Musk's $100 phone finally hitting the market." Obviously that's not true, but we need more examples. Here's another one, October 22nd, 32,000 views. Elon Musk's $100 Tesla phone with Starlink connection finally for sale. Again, explicitly not true.
If it sounds too good to be true, it's gotta be fake, chat. Remember that.
3-minute video. Very slight edits from the one we looked at previously. Entirely voiced over by AI, and it's only the tip of the iceberg. November 2nd, it happened. Elon Musk's new $100 Tesla phone destroys Apple. November 20th.
It's crazy how can they just re-upload the same garbage over and over, and somehow the system doesn't catch them. But there's girls who are VTubers who can make innocuous statements and get banned for, like, the dumbest shit on YouTube. Yeah, like Bao and Lucy's VOD getting struck for, like, medical misinformation when they were talking about a dude getting banned from their VOD, like their stream. Like, why is this, like, so bad and so difficult to detect on YouTube? This is... again, I know, they just don't care. They just don't care.
56,000 views. Elon Musk just revealed Tesla's new $100 phone finally hitting the market.
Recycle.
1 day ago, Elon Musk just announced Tesla's new $100 phone, and the list goes on. It's an entire content pipeline, but let me go further. Here's a channel called Voyager, 500,000 subscribers, posting 1.7 thousand videos so far, with AI-generated voice.
It's just slop. 1 hour, 4 hours, 8 hours, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day. He posts like 6 videos a day almost.
And subject matter like this. October 10th, 80,000 views. Elon Musk, Tesla's new Pi phone beats iPhone 16 in every way.
Pi phone!
How about this? Tesla phone Model Pi unboxing 6 days ago, when the product that they are supposedly unboxing doesn't exist. And
44 minutes? Bro, this is unironically a scary content, like, factory farm.
Could keep going for quite a long time with a list of channels, collectively millions of subscribers, holding many, many thousands of videos, promoting something that isn't real, with AI voiceover and extremely similar visuals.
The reason I know about this channel personally, and then the other one with the tech one, there was a guy that was, I think it was a science guy we reacted to a long time ago, maybe a year ago. He said that this was happening and they weren't getting banned for it and they were stealing content and then just AI recycling, like, script slop over and over and over again. Yeah, it was Kyle Hill. Yeah, he was talking about this and they never did anything about it. Now it's like almost a year later, man.
Some people see that, obviously, and think, who cares, big deal, doesn't matter. But let's put these videos on the timeline. During, before, and still after the search term interest, I should say, for Tesla phone exploded on Google Trends, dozens of channels were producing hundreds of videos, collectively getting hundreds of thousands of views, all advertising that a $100 Tesla phone had just been released. Having already established that Elon Musk's own comments likely had nothing to do with the sudden explosion of search term interest, and that these videos were being propagated heavily before those comments were even made, where did those searches come from? Answer: they came from the dead internet, because edited content promoting products that don't exist got heavily propagated by a network of AI slop channels.
It happens on TikTok too. I've seen so many TikToks getting recommended to me with like 1 view or like 2 views and like 1 like and 1 comment. And it's promoting some like ass with like a AI voiceover and having some product placement. It's so weird. It happens on every social media. I don't visit Instagram, so I don't know if that happens over there too, but
which in turn
I would assume
directly influenced Google's trending searches with an unknown but material impact on how the search engine then serves content to other real people, aka dead internet theory in action. Just to drive it home, let's take our second Tesla product, the tiny house in this case, and show the same thing. Over the past 12 months, search term interest for Tesla house on Google Trends has spiked once, end of October to mid-November.
What?
During that time, I could find hardly anything having to do with Tesla or houses anywhere online. In fact, the only legitimate mention of Tesla and tiny house really in the same sentence together appears to be an Australian concept prototype where they used a tiny house to showcase Powerwall, a completely separate product. And yet, search term interest for Tesla house is dramatically rising now, years later. Why? This is why. Just like with the phones, there's a network of channels, AI voiced, though some of them are getting pretty good and it's hard to tell, machine gunning content into the feed, which is completely fake. The same channel I talked about previously, or was going to talk about before it got suspended, Tech Central, was also doing this on dates like October 30th and November 4th, even mere hours before it got suspended. But so were these channels, Atom Tech, with over 600 videos, just like Tech Central. Similar timing, similar...
And look at the cars, too. They look so fake. Look. The car doesn't even have like a... They don't even have lights! How are people falling for this? Look at the shadows underneath the car! The electric plane, $9,999. What the fuck, man?
Subjects, and dozens of them focused on this non-existent, sometimes $10,000 house, sometimes $6,000 tiny house, with more and more examples in tow. How about this one? Morrow. Now, apparently Donald Trump is involved with the tiny houses, which was posted 2 weeks ago. Or this one.
Well, yeah, because it gets you views. If you use controversial figures or popular figures in media, like everyone hates Elon. He has a lot of fans, sure, but like he has a lot of haters. They will hate click, or the people that get fooled, they will click on it because it has Elon's face on it. It doesn't matter that it's AI generated.
November 6th, $10,000 net zero Tesla home for market. Awesome. Here's another one. Core Electrical Engineering, which appears to be just getting started on YouTube, not much traction yet, but still has over 100 videos, AI voiceover, manipulated footage, and titles like this. $5,000 Tesla tiny house will change housing forever. Here's another one. Electric. Apparently now the house is $30,000, which was posted October 29th with over 120,000.
1.2 million views? Holy.
And if you flash back to that Google Trends graph, suddenly we see the connection. This,
and again, it's the theory of not the theory, but like the method of death by 1,000 cuts, but like the inverse. You will get a couple of thousand views on like thousands of videos a day if you're just churning it out like that. It's crazy how these people get away with this.
Flood of AI content aimed at Tesla houses originated before, during, and after the search term spike, appearing to indicate that the dead internet content machine is achieving a scale, even when talking about smaller topics like this, that is directly impacting Google search terms. Best case scenario, though I see no evidence of this whatsoever, the dead internet content machine is operating in a parasitic way with actual news announcements. Something happens, some big announcement, they pile on board and leech ad views, but at worst, which is
the ones that I hate the most personally are the ones where the US talks about, what is it called? Oh, they talk about, like, recently, for example, the drones that they said were not American, or like it's not owned by the government, and they're like actually, you know, unidentifiable objects or something like that. If you start Googling that shit, or you put it on your YouTube search bar, you start getting slop channels recommended to you like crazy, because it's a current event, like news cycle, and they want to latch onto it and get your click and get your ad money. It's really smart, but it's also really fucked up.
is far more likely, in my opinion. The dead internet content machine is large enough now to where it just picks something conducive, in this case, Elon Musk, because of high interest in a public figure, the cult-like fan base, and two products that are kind of maybe plausible, but not really.
People are stupid.
Floods YouTube and other platforms with content, and then creates the spike in Google search interest as a result of that.
Well, Elon Musk makes cars and rockets. Why wouldn't he make a phone, chat? Why wouldn't he make a phone? He makes so much money. Their channels are not even people are watching, but bots. That means bots are creating their own entertainment, their own society. Oh no. I don't know if the bots they don't feel entertainment. They don't care. They don't feel boredom.
Here's the thing. That's still just one layer, because I know people are going to brush it off. But there's another angle in play here where the advertising on these videos is very often deep-faked content of celebrities.
Oh my god! I've seen these! I've seen this!
Promoting various products. 404 Media had a really good piece.
And it's obviously fake, man.
About this, which showcased multiple of these ads, all coming from a singular identity-verified Google advertising account, which is...
And that's YouTube's fucking fault. They don't filter their ads. They want to shove ads down our throats and get us to buy YouTube Premium. But for the love of God, they do not want to take accountability for the dog shit advertising that they do not check, because they don't give a fuck and they will take anyone's money.
It's taken everything down, obviously, but was previously running over 300 of these ad types. And they showcase that not only is the content fake, AI-generated, false premise, false product, etc., the advertising is fake, with celebrities being manipulated with AI in order to sell you things.
Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract. What is this t-shirt? Mike Tyson, what the hell?
On the video, where a celebrity's product that doesn't exist is now being used to attract enough attention to manipulate search terms. As a side note, there's a platform called Guard.
Can I also say something slightly off topic? Why the hell does AI, when it's like talking like this and looks like this, it looks kind of almost dreamlike? I don't know how to describe it and why it seems like this. Am I fucked up? Am I in an AI when I go to sleep? His forehead's deathly stale. Yeah, it is. His wrinkles aren't moving either.
Enough attention to manipulate search terms.
Watch the
As
wrinkles.
a side note, there's a platform called Guardio, which I directly contribute to by forwarding them things that need to be blocked by their service, such as a massive network of crypto scams that were being spammed and propagated underneath my own videos. In another example of dead internet theory. True. And they're extremely good about blocking pages from scam advertisements. Or
dude, that token of I wonder if I have these underneath my comments too. Oh my god.
Generally protecting Chrome users from online threats. So if you want a special discount, you can use the link down below to check that out. I'm not directly sponsored by them. I promote them on my own with an affiliate thing because of how good they are. But having also helped make the service better by flagging threats, it felt like a good mention here. Anyway, this problem, the problem of dead internet theory expanding to a point where it's eclipsing actual human content, isn't just isolated to Google or YouTube. It's infecting almost every single major network out there. I won't make the video 6 hours by diving into the AI-plagued realm of Facebook. Your parents are probably absorbed in a bubble of fake content right now, by the way, on that platform. Facebook is like ground zero for it. But even just a couple weeks ago, I covered the pervasive phenomenon on Instagram where AI-generated influencers are...
My god. There was some dude that was making like 60 grand a month on fake Instagram influencers. Yeah, 1 million followers. I'm Alice87. It's all just fake. And there's just people writing comments underneath how they want to freaking pork her brains out. There's people that write comments underneath women's photos where they have 3 boobs, chat. So, yeah, I don't know.
Replacing the faces of real women and then re-uploading that content to a brand new profile with millions upon millions of followers, likes, and views. Sure, some of these examples are worse than others, and sure, not all of them have broken through yet to a mainstream consciousness, but they're about to, because dead internet theory is real, and trust me, you're going to be hearing about it a whole lot more in the future. Fake content is now being made where the majority of interactions are also fake on that content, but that manufactured content is ensnaring a portion of legitimate users, and those users then serve as the profit foundation for a bloated internet ecosystem that increasingly resembles, with striking similarity, the online world that this so-called dead internet theory claims as reality. It is, or at least it's rapidly becoming that way, because the tools that we have at our disposal now allow for one person to produce a never-ending feed of manufactured content that previously would have taken dozens, maybe even hundreds of people to replicate. Much of that content built around simulated human interactions, thereby fulfilling.
Again, I think this is gonna crescendo probably in about a year or two, because I'm already getting really sick of seeing all the AI. Like, I have nothing against using AI for like a useful tool, but like generating slop into slop into slop, and just, it's not even like differentiated in any capacity. Like, ChatGPT is a useful tool. I think it's insane. I think it's amazing. But what we have, like with character AI, for example, where we take it way too far, and then we have 10 different versions of like characters that talk to you, and then a kid blows his brains out, and it's like on the news. That's terrible. Like, there's good sides to it, sure, but like you're oversaturating like it to the point where I can't even look for like real art.
At least half of the dead internet theory's current definition.
Yeah.
As the ratio of human-generated content versus synthetic-generated content continues to skew downward in the wrong direction, the problem will become self-reinforcing. If the bots can generate enough content to where Google thinks that the content is now trending and serves it to real people as a result, the problem will only get worse. And when that content is then populated with fake views, which has been happening for a long time, fake comments, which is happening increasingly as of late, where ChatGPT generates the words, and fake advertising with AI manipulated commercials, we will live in a horribly completed digital circle that fully embodies the term dead internet theory, minus the part about governments doing it deliberately. In my mind, it's happening purely because human beings are greedy. They see the path of least resistance and end up taking it, typically for profit. Which means this time, unfortunately, they're choosing AI influencers, advertising, and content generation with increased...
What was his name? Kubbelbop? God, what was that YouTuber's name? Chat, you know this one. Quebblecop? He was the guy that was making really good videos, and then he literally transitioned into full AI, and people got really mad at him. He's a perfect example of that. He was making normal content, and then he just transitioned to Quebblecop AI and tried to sell it to people, and people got really pissed at him. Yep.
Frequency using synthetic tools. I guess we'll find out soon whether or not major tech platforms have any actual motivation to stop it. But right now, they're benefiting from it. Right now, it's just more content and more advertisements being served on more content. So it has to tip really far before the pendulum comes back and it gets bad, because at the moment, it's actually kind of a benefit to them. So there's not going to be much effort to stop it. That's it. In my opinion, dead internet theory is very real, and I hope I've made a compelling case for it. There's links down below to support the channel, especially... Will
you support Smugglana Complete AI, and I'm just like in the Bahamas? Like, sitting there doing nothing.
VPN deal, Guardio for Chrome users to protect yourself. Merchandise, social media, locals and Patreon, channel memberships, etc., etc. But I'll cut it there and stop. Right. As always, thank you all for watching.
Man.
Question everything, and have a nice night.
Smugglana AI already exists. Probably. I yap way too much for AI not be able to pick me up. Like, you know what I'm saying? They probably have a lot of data at this point. Probably my fingerprints too. You could dox me. Finish me off.